everybody. I'm back again. This is Amy of Amy J's Creations, and this is my Flosstube channel, Flosstube number 19. It is December 30th, 2021. So I meant to film much earlier today, but I needed to go to the store and get all of our delicious food that we like to eat for New Year's Eve. We don't really do a meal New Year's Eve. I have all the kids' favorite snacks. So we do a veggie tray. We do chocolate fondue with fruit. I make a cheese ball with a bunch of different crackers, buy fancy salami, chips, which we normally don't ever get to eat, potato chips, 2 different flavors, because here they do paprika flavored chips, which I think are not good, but my kids love, and then I get the regular potato chips for me. Oh, I meant to get salt and vinegar ones too. Oh well. All the fake bubbly champagne, bunch of other soda. Yeah, fireworks. Had to go buy fireworks. That's legal here, and lots of people set them off for New Year's. So I got a whole bunch of that. So anyway, all that running around, and then I had to put away all the groceries, and the fridge needed to get cleaned. So anyway, long story short, I had a lot of, oh my gosh, there's something in my eye. I had a lot of duties today, mom job, and so it's like 8:30 at night, and I'm finally filming when I meant to film this afternoon. But okay, and as soon as I'm done, we're gonna watch more of Witcher season 2. So good. We had to rewatch season 1. We did that just the last few days to catch up. And it made so much more sense watching it the second time. And then now we're on we're going to watch episode 3 of season 2 today. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so let's talk finishes. I have had very few whips. The past little bit, I finished some secret stitching, and I worked on this other little thing here and there, but mostly I had finishes. So I am going to start with my whip actually, and then move on to finishes, because that's going to be the majority of what I'm filming. So I showed you last week that I had done this Christmas towel with these little trees, and so now I am working on some little gingerbread men. And I know it looks weird, but they're supposed to be like 3-dimensional. Yeah, so I'm trying to work on those. It's out of this book. Super old, most definitely out of print. But some of the best patterns in here, Christmas patterns. This was an inheritance from my mother. When I say that, it sounds like she's dead. My mother is perfectly fine and healthy and alive and well in Utah. She just doesn't cross-stitch much anymore. Okay, here are that's what the gingerbread man, and then the gingerbread lady is, yeah, they're there. That's what I'm working on. And then I may do something else. It's kind of tricky. I like the gingerbread house. The candy canes won't really work, I don't think, because the towel is red. So I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm working on there. And I'm working on that just a little bit here and there as I feel like it, in the car, watching TV. But sometimes I just sit and actually watch TV. Okay, so, and I did finish my secret stitching, and I'm going to show it to you. I did 2 things. One has already been gifted. This one still needs to get sent. So I'm just going to say, Dawn, Frosty X Stitch. I've got hair on my arm. Look away. I will tell you when it is safe to look again. Have you closed your eyes? Close your eyes. Don't peek. This is a free pattern from the Primitive Hair. I finished it. I did another one that had more green, less blue. I'm trying to describe it with not super detailed, so Dawn won't know what it is. I also finished the other one with that little pocket in the front. And I want to make one for myself that has this is the same, and these will be the same, so that all three will be kind of linked that way. This is the back. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have stitchy friends that I can make stitchy gifts for. Oh my goodness. It's so nice. I have not had really crafty friends. I did have a few years ago, a couple of friends who actually got me started quilting, and I quilted with them a couple of times, but I'm not friends with them anymore, sadly. Some moved away and some stopped liking me. So it's really fun to have stitchy friends that I can give the gifts for. So so I finished that. I do want to show you then also, now this has been gifted, so I can show it to you. This was my daughter's gift for Christmas. I had showed you the stitching. She started on this TARDIS. Oh, Dawn, you can look back. Sorry. So Sarah had started this, my daughter, and then got a little frustrated and gave it back to me, and I finished it for her. And I turned it into a pillow. She doesn't really like bags, but a pillow she can use on her chair that she sits on to do homework in her college dorm room. It's an apartment, but and now this fabric might not seem cool to you, but for those in the know, this is David Tennant's doctor, the suit he always wore. This right here is super teeny tiny writing, and it's quotes from the show. And on the back of this, if you look at this design, I'm just going to hold it up here for a little bit, because the more you look at it, the more you see stuff that's from the TV show. Very cool. Finished it as a pocket fold. There are several tutorials on YouTube. I kind of, Fat Quarter Shop has one. Jolly did, Kimberly Jolly. Homemade with Dana, or Dana Homemade. I'll link her thing. Hers is actually the one I ended up using. My thing is, when I look for a tutorial on YouTube, I want the fastest one. So like Kimberly Jolly's, I'm sure was super detailed and really perfect and great to follow if you've never sewn before. But it was like 35 minutes long. Ain't nobody got time for that. I've sewed for a long time. I just needed like the basic one. So Dana Handmade with Dana, or Dana Handmade, hers was like 7 minutes long, 8 minutes long. And I was like, yeah, that's my speed. That's all I need. Give me the boop, boop. Here you go. So I did that. I will definitely be making more, I think, finishing more pillows like this. The inside, the form, I just picked up at Ikea for like, I don't know, $4 or something, $5. So very, very happy with that. And she was very pleased and can't wait to get it back home. Okay, so other finishes now. There's a lot of finishes going on. I am going to show you first, these next four items are things that I finished years ago. Like, okay, this first one I finished last year, but the other three, I can't remember. I know for sure a couple of my children were not born yet when I finished these, and they have been sitting in a drawer because I couldn't figure out how to finish them. So I finally did, and I'm very happy to show you. This first one, this is a free pattern from Hands On Design. I didn't really follow her colors. Oh, excuse me. I didn't totally follow her colors, but it's 3 reds and 3 greens and a brown. I ended up using a glitter. You can't really see that. It's a shiny metallic thread for the crosses. This is stitched on a I'm pretty sure it's a 16 count Ada, and it's got an opalescent Ada from Zweigart. And I finished it in a frame. Now, this is the first time I have ever tried to finish anything fancy in a frame. You would think that a hoop finish would be, not a frame finish, a hoop finish would be so easy. People. Okay, first of all, getting it centered, super hard. You will see that I didn't actually. There is more space here than there is down here, but that worked out fine because now I got some place for the beads. Getting the ribbon around the edge, I could not get this ribbon to stick, and I was trying to put it so that I could fold some of it to the front and not have rickrack here, but it looked like a third grader had done it, and it was awful and ugly. And so then I glued rickrack, which is more going on than I originally wanted, but I had to cover up the horrible glue job with those things. Then I made the little bow with the same ribbon and rickrack, added a little button, and these were off of a Christmas pick that I bought years ago. They were more spread out. I don't have any piece of it left around here. They were more spread out, and so I ripped them up and clustered them together. It's not, like I said, I think it looks cuter with less red showing. But it is what it is. It's happy. I mean, I'm happy it's finished. I put a little felt on the back, and then I can hang that up by the little thing that's right there. So that was that. Then this is an ornament. Oh, and I meant to get, I have the booklet. Hold on. Okay, I found it. This is a dimensions thing. So it might have been originally a kit, but all I have is like the paper thing. And there's several sections in it, but this is the one I have. And here is the thing that's inside. I have had this sitting, stitched, and not finished. Yeah, like I said, for years and years and years. And finally, I had these little tart pins, and I was kind of digging through my drawer of little stuff that I have bought for finishing, and I saw that, because originally I was going to just make a round ornament to go on the tree, my cross-stitch tree, but then I decided I'm really picky about the colors that go on my tree. The only colors that go on my tree are like glittery, crystally, gold, so like clear, gold, red, and a little bit of green, but not really because the tree's already green. And this would not have completely fit in. And my cross-stitch tree, I have the tree, I have no cross-stitch ornaments, but I got big plans, but I'll talk about that more later. I already know I want like Santa and other things, those types of ornaments on there, like my prairie schooler ornaments, and it just doesn't go. So I decided to finish it on its standalone in this little tart tray, and it will go on my tiered tray. I happen to have I used to do a lot of toll painting, have a whole bunch of wooden bits, and I dug through and I found this already painted gold star. I just glued it right on there. This ribbon right here is some weird trim that I can't even remember where I got it from, but it worked really great. So there's that. I'm super happy, and it goes, actually, my tiered tray is over here. It doesn't normally go in my bedroom, but for right now it's here because it's helping me with my Flosstube. So there is that. I'm very happy to have that done. And then these next two, these are the ones where I had the hardest time because they're a funky shape, and you need to have, I didn't want to pay for a custom frame. Okay, custom framing in the United States is expensive. Custom framing in Switzerland, I think I've mentioned this before, it's exorbitant. It's like crazy expensive. So, no. But last year, no, 2 years ago, I found these serving trays. I'm just going to show you some little serving trays at Aldi, of all places. And I bought them and immediately thought, yes, these will finish my Santa and my snowman. And so I bought them. And then saw that the Santa and the snowman were actually a little long. They didn't fit down in it. It wasn't as wide. You know, I had to sit for a while. My brain had to like think. And I finally figured out how to do it. Anyway, I'll show you first. So here's the Santa. And here is the snowman. There is a third one in this series. This is from For the Love of Cross Stitch Leisure Arts magazine from, I don't know, 1991, 92. I don't know. I got rid of the magazine once I stitched them. That had an angel, but I don't like the angel. So I didn't stitch her. I just stitched the Santa and the snowman. And so what I did, this thing it's kind of deep. I don't you see. And the Santa would not fit, or both stitched pieces wouldn't fit down in it. So what I did is I covered this foam core, actually it's matte board. And then I had the sticky foam core board from the States. And I had like some little off pieces, like from other times that I had finished an item and weird bits were left over. And I stacked those one on top of each other 3 deep and glued those to the back of this here and like here. And that made it so that this bigger piece sat flush inside the frame with a little bit of, support behind it, and it all fits in there. Now, I can affix something to the back to hang them if I want to, but I don't have a whole lot of wall space. So these can also just be propped up on an easel or put in a bookshelf or in our entertainment center. One on either side, and that's probably what I will do. But I am so happy that these are finally finished in a way that they can be enjoyed and looked on. And yes, look, see the moon and the star kind of go off the edge, but the snowman, and there's just a couple snowflakes. But I'm fine with that. I love how it looks. I love how they turned out. But most importantly, I love that they're done and they can just be hung and enjoyed. This right here, this little lace, that again, I've mentioned it before. I was gifted a bunch of old lace from a friend of mine who is older than I am. It was her mother's lace stash, and that she was not going to have any use for. And every time I use it, I think of Susanna and her mom, and I'm so happy and thankful that she gave me that great gift, because they're beautiful pieces, and I have used them in many of my finishes. So there's that. And then my final finish is my Pine Needles Christmas Stitch Along. Hashtag Pine Needles Xmas. Me and Becky did this together, and here it is. Now you've seen I put the Halloween one in here, and I have an Easter something that's not from Pine Needles, but it's from White House Stitchery, White Cottage Stitchery, something like that. It's done, but it's not fully finished yet to go in here. This is attached with magnets. And yeah, okay, so there's some white glue that's still drying. It will be completely clear when it's completely dry. But I just barely finished this and then ran in here to film this video, so you can still see the glue. These little candy canes, I don't even remember where I got them from. I have a whole pack of them. I've used them in cards. I still have, it was like 300 of them or something. I thought they looked really cute on there with this red bow and this little gingerbread star down there. I didn't want to do too much because I want you to be able to look and see the finishing. But, oh, I love this. Now, I changed a few of the colors. A lot of places where it asked for blue, I changed it to either green or red because I wanted a more red-green, but there is some blue on there as well. I changed the order of the days. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, Amy J's Creations, I explained it there a little bit, but I'll do it here too. Again, I think I talked about this last Flosstube, but like here in Switzerland, Sammy Claus, or that's what they call Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, comes on the 6th. So I put him on the 6th day. I usually I put the sewing machine sooner because I do often sew gifts for the kids, but I start much earlier than Christmas Eve. And then I put the church on the 16th because that's our anniversary. And you can't really tell. Let's see here. But on top of that church, I didn't do a cross. So I'm LDS. So I tried to make a little angel Moroni like on top of our temples. In real life, it doesn't really look like much, but I know what it is, and it makes me giggle. And then I moved baby Jesus to the very last day and the shepherds to the night before because the shepherds were watching over their flocks by night. So those are the changes that I made. I added beads in several places. In the star here, you can see like for Rudolph's nose, a few other things. I added French knots to simulate snow in the snow globe. But this, I had downloaded all the patterns last year when they were free. But it's like less than $10 for the PDF download. And it is so worth it because you're getting 25 cute little patterns that are just absolutely adorable. It's so worth it. It's so cute. I love it, and thank you again, Pine Needles, for doing that. That was great. All right, so those are my finishes. I'm super happy because now next week we leave up our tree until after January 6th because January 6th is Heilige Drei Könige or Three Kings Day, Epiphany. And in Switzerland, you celebrate there's this special bread that it's like several balls of dough, sweet dough with raisins and like almonds and big granular sugar, Hagelzucker. What is that called in English? I don't know, but it's like the big crystals of sugar on top. And inside one of the balls of dough is a little plastic king. And so we always have that for breakfast on January 6th. And whoever finds the king, and the bread is sold with a little crown inside it, like in the packaging, protected by plastic. They get to wear that crown. Whoever finds the little thing, they are king or queen for the day. And in our house, the rule is then they get to choose what we eat that day and for lunch, because that's our main meal. And they don't have to do any of their chores, which now that they're older, most of them don't have a whole lot of chores. I'm like, as I randomly need help, I ask them to do stuff. But when they were little, that was a huge deal that they did not have to do chores on that day if they were king or queen. So we do that, celebrate that. And then that evening, usually we take down all the decorations off the tree and open up the big double windows in our dining room because we live on the 4th floor. And I go downstairs and watch to make sure that there's nobody coming in or out, so nobody's going to get hurt. And my husband chucks the tree out the window, woo, just like in the IKEA commercials, and it falls on the ground, and I drag it to the end of the road where the green green composting garbage men come and pick it up and dispose of it. But yeah, that's her. And then my older son, vacuums up all the needles that have spilled everywhere while he's shoving it through the window. Yeah, that is our traditions. So anyway, when we are packing up the tree, then I pack up all the other Christmas decorations the day after, and then I'll be able to put away all my new finishes. So happy. Okay, so I mentioned that it was our anniversary. Getting married just before Christmas was really stupid, and I hate it. But one of the nice things is whenever we go out to celebrate, everything's all decorated with lights, and I love the snow, and it's super romantic to walk around and look at all the Christmas lights and hold hands, and so that's nice. So we took a day and we went to a spa in Thun, Thun. Well, it's actually in Spitz, but it's by Thunersee, Thun Lake. And on our way back, down and back. So, okay, here's Switzerland, right? And you've got the Alps. The Alps kind of cut across all the way. They go from France all the way to Austria, right? The Alps. So to get from our house in Zurich down to where we were going, there's only a few roads, a few passes that go through the Alps. So no matter where you're coming from up here in Switzerland, you have to come down to get through one of the 3 or 4 passes that will get you into the mountains. And so there's this one road that we go on all the time. Anytime we want to go hiking, anytime you want to go skiing, anytime you want to do anything down in the Alps, you have to go through this road. And on this one pass, there is a Swiss broken house, which is Swiss version of like Goodwill. And it is amazing. First of all, they have wonderful clean bathrooms. And it's like halfway point through the drive. And so that's a great place to stop. Secondly, it's huge, and they have stuff crammed everywhere. And the one thing that they're super famous for that all my friends know and have bought from is cowbells. Okay. So Switzerland, all the cows and the goats and the sheep wear bells on a leather collar around their neck, so they don't get lost, because they wander off they literally take them up into the mountains, and then they got to call them, and they all have to have a bell. So if they get lost or stuck or whatever, they can find them. They can hear that noise. The farmers can follow that noise. So but eventually, the bells kind of get icky or gross or whatever. And so they buy new ones. And this broken house has, the brokey is what you call it, has a whole bunch of them. And I have bought several of them for us, bought them for special friends. They're not cheap, so not everybody gets one. But if I really, really love you, and I think that you will understand how cool and neat it is, and you ask for one, I will bring you one when we come to the States. So I've stopped there several times. And I asked my husband on the way back home, can we stop here? Because when we came down, it was late. We wanted to it was still open, but we wanted to get to where we were going so we could take advantage of the awesome spa at the hotel. But on the way back, he's like, yeah, we can stop. So I went in, and he stayed in the car because he does not like old stuff. He doesn't like how it smells. So he didn't want to go in there. But he let me go in, and I spent I was in there for probably 25 minutes wandering around. I did go to the bathroom, finding stuff. And you guys, I found adobo. I've been so jealous of everybody on Flosstube, especially Michelle McGraw, being like, oh yeah, my dobo. Oh yeah, I make all these pillows for my dobo. Oh, this goes in my dobo. Like, I'm living, where am I going to find one? It doesn't look exactly the same because it's a Swiss dough bowl, but it's super old and it's super awesome. And I can't wait to fill it with all my cross-stitch pillows. Right now, it's filled with pine cones that I have spray painted. But when Christmas is over, I will take out the pine cones. This little hooky thing is on here, and I'm pretty sure that was so that the farmer wife could hang it on a hook in her kitchen and keep it out of the way when she wasn't using it. I can't decide if I'm going to leave that on there or take it off. But I love this dough bowl. And it's got like the little, marks from because it's real wood, from those little wood beetles that come in. Oh my gosh. I have a dough bowl. A Swiss dough bowl. I love it so much. Like, seriously. Oh my gosh. And it was not a bad price. It was 35 francs, which is about $35. 30 dollar is worth less than the franc. So I don't know how that conversion goes. But anyway, yeah, 35 francs. And then because I bought a few other things, she just kind of rounded it down. So I probably got it for like 32 francs. I'm super happy. There's this, which is the imitation. These are like old milk things that they would carry the milk, put the cow milk in there and then carry it around. Obviously, this is a decor one, but this is, and it's tiny, but I just loved it. And I think also I could put something very cute and cross-stitchy in there. I might want to paint it, but then I feel like I can't, because then that kind of, you won't see the cute design. But anyway, found that. Paddle board. What are they called? Kind of like a horn book. Now this, of course, has been wood burned with the painting of a cow and a farmer. And it's kind of cool. And I might very well flip over and use the back of this to put cross stitch, so I can leave this if I ever want to flip it over. I didn't pay $10 for it, 10 francs, because as I said, she rounded down the price for me. And then I found this round frame. It's got glass in it, which maybe I'll use the glass, maybe I won't. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit. It can be hung or it can stand, but it's a good size. And it's a gold color, which I like because we have a lot of natural wood in our house. The ceilings, because we live in an attic apartment, the ceilings are a natural wood. So the gold goes with that. And, round frames are always a good thing. I was kind of debating if I should put the Mary inside here, but I liked the hoop idea for this. So I'll save this for something else. So those were my purchases that I got at the Swiss Brokey in the mountains. And I'm so happy. That dough bowl, you guys, you don't even know. I've been filled with the pine cones, sitting on by my fireplace, because we never build an actual fire in our fireplace. It's filled with candles, and it's just, every time I walk by, I'm so happy. Okay, so now, plans. I am thinking, I just kicked the camera. I am thinking I am going to need to do, there we go, move you some a little more. I'm going to need to do a second video, I know, like next week, so that it's at the beginning of the year to discuss all my plans, because I'm gonna do WIPGO. I have always been opposed to that because I'm like, I want to stitch what I want to stitch. It's my hobby. I don't want to be told. I don't want to be tied down. I don't want to have rules. But I have so many patterns that I want to do, that I want to get done. And I don't have that many whips. actually, but I have a lot of patterns that I want to do this next year. And I figure if I do WIPCO, that's like, it'll organize me, right? It'll help me focus on which ones am I actually going to do, which ones am I actually going to finish or start. And I'm really kind of looking forward to that. I'm also going to be doing the 25-30, and that is my, the big hometown holidays, big piece. That's going to be my 25-30, 25-7, 25 minutes of stitching every day. I'm going to do that in the new year, but I think I really want to do WIPCO, especially because I have several, like I'll have a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments that I want to do, and a few bigger projects that I'm not starting, and I want to start them. So that is what I'm going to be doing, but I think I got to figure that all out. I just decided like this afternoon that I wanted to do WIPCO. And so I joined Jessie Marie Does Stuff WIPCO Facebook group. And so now I have to kind of go through and order everything. But I wanted to get this filmed before I did that. So that's why I think I will do another bonus video talking about all of those starts. Okay, so now I'm done, I think. I hope everybody who celebrates Christmas had a great Christmas. We really did. It was lovely. It was, I purposely did not do several things so that I wouldn't get stressed. For example, I bought all the candy to decorate gingerbread houses, but I never baked the gingerbread houses. We might still do that. I might just let them eat the candy. But we did do a lot of other things. We visited several Christmas markets. We went up to Strasbourg for one. That was amazing and lovely. And we want to go again next year and go earlier in the day, because we went to one big main one. And then when it closed, we were walking around at night looking at all the lights and saw 3 other Christmas markets all in Strasbourg. So we're like, okay, we're coming next year. We're going to plan this better. We're going to not stop in Germany on the way there and do a bunch of shopping, and go visit all the Christmas markets. That was really fun. We went to the one in Zurich in the main train station. They have a big Christmas market with a giant tree that's decorated with Swarovski crystals. That was absolutely beautiful. I'll try to include some photos here at the end if I can figure out how to do that. It was lovely. And we just had a nice time together, and now we're looking forward to New Year's. So that is it for this week. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel, because then you can kind of keep up with me. Please leave comments. I love all the comments. Sometimes I don't know how to answer back because the comment doesn't feel like it needs an answer back. But I put a heart by it so that I read it, because I did, and it always makes me so happy for the comments. And engage with me on Instagram as well. I'm going to try. That's why I got more in the habit of posting when I was stitching that. And I want to try to keep that up, posting it maybe not every day, but at least like 3 times a week, which I haven't been before now. So follow me on Instagram so we can also converse there, and I can tell me what your name is so I can follow you over there. Have a little give and take, and I hope 2022 is better for everybody. We didn't really have a whole lot of bad stuff happen because of COVID, but I know a lot of people did, and it's really just starting to wear on people. And I'm hoping that even if things don't get totally back to normal, that we learn to adjust and kind of move on, and that it stops being a hardship for people. And I really hope people stop dying. Okay. And so with that, I will say Happy New Year and cheers.